But if you could just wave and let me know if you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? Anne, har du lärt dig nu? Oh, the wonder of technology, eh? Oh, yeah. This is, thank you. Oh my God, I'm literally the worst when it comes to technology. I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. Okay, so people are still saying they can't hear. I'm going to try headphones. Yeah. Okay. So just step with me into the kitchen and I'll grab some headphones. I'm really sorry about that, but it's trial and error, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try the headphones. See if that works. Okay. Okay. So I think I know what's going on. Here's the thing. I bought one of those things where you can put your phone up because I thought that you would probably like it better if you didn't get to see me sort of in a frog perspective. But as it turns out, quite nice where you can hear me as well. So I just hope that all the technology issues are a thing of the past. And I thought I would reintroduce myself. My name is Helena Dahlgren. I'm the writer of Jorvik Calling, the Soul Riders books. And it's Children's Book Week at the moment, at a very special time. I was saying earlier, before I experienced a bit of technology issues, that, you know, being self-isolated can be a very strange time. Hi, everyone. But when I was a kid, I actually sort of self-isolated myself because I didn't have that many friends. So I stayed at home and I read books. And it was my life, really. Oh, thank you, Lana. Thank you. Books basically saved my life when I was a kid. So for me, you know, Children's Book Week, that's every week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every day of the week. But anyway, happy Children's Book Week. I don't know if some of you have already read the book. Lovely cover, isn't it? Beautiful. It's by Marie Bashorna, who also does a fair amount of fan art for Star Stable online. I just loved the cover. Literally cried when I saw it for the first time. I'm thinking I'm going to do a bit of a reading at the moment. I'm going to be reading from my favourite chapter of the book, chapter 11, which depicts the light ride where Lisa, the protagonist, has arrived at Jorvik. She's met some friends. She's met a very special horse called Starshine, and they're out in the fall. It's beautiful. And it's a bit magical as well, because that's what Jorvik is. It's a very magical and strange place where pretty much anything can happen. And I think, you know, magic and fantasy and, you know, just literally feeling that anything is possible is something that we all can enjoy and savor at the moment. And tell you what, I see a lot of comments and questions at the moment. That's wonderful. But I was thinking that I'll read for maybe 10 minutes. I'll read in English. And then later you can ask me questions, just anything you want about the books or the Soul Riders or anything. Just so think about questions for a moment and I'll start reading from Jorvik Calling. They set off as the sun had begun to dip toward the tree line behind the stables. Lit torches lined the trail. Folk music could be heard coming from somewhere, and a crowd of onlookers had gathered to see the riders off. A small boy handed Lisa a bouquet of flowers. She accepted it and thanked him. "That's Jorvik clover," Linda said. "If you give Starshine a couple with his evening meal when we take a break, then he won't get drowsy." So much to learn, Lisa thought to herself. She put the clover flowers in a saddlebag. The light ride covered many miles, so they mostly walked to conserve their horses' energy. They stayed close together so they could talk. In the distance they spotted a vast vineyard and a beautiful grey stone manor. The farther they rode, the more it felt like they were travelling out of time, away from the modern world to a mystical place where anything was possible. They rode toward the western part of the northern mountain range, just beyond the large Silverglade Manor. From the summit, there was a view of Everwind Fields and a glimpse of the lights from Silverglade Village beyond it. On clear nights, you could see the lights in the castle windows. Baroness Silverglade usually made sure the lights were turned on for the light ride. The castle served as a kind of beacon for the riders travelling through the rural southwest corner of Jorvik. "Look at that!" Alex hollered as she pointed down at the dazzling fall foliage of Golden Hills Valley that spread out below them. "What's that black patch?" Lisa asked as she squinted at the red, orange and yellow forest. "It's Cauldron Swamp," Linda replied. "I'd recommend steering clear of it. They say it's full of will-o'-the-wisps, the ghostly light that lead you astray from the path, so you become lost forever." Lisa turned around and looked at Anne, who was riding right behind her. Concord's ears were pricked as he nimbly moved up the hill. Lisa didn't see why Alex thought Anne was conceited. She seemed timid and withdrawn, if anything, as though she were afraid of intruding. Lisa gave her an encouraging smile. Anne smiled back. Several other light riders were nearby, but they mostly kept to their own little groups. Sometimes they were alone. Sometimes there were plenty of others forming a long line of riders. Some sang well-known traditional songs about Aideen and the long journey towards brighter times. Lisa soon started humming along. Several people took the opportunity to stop at the crest of a hill. Their horses walked on the long rein and stopped to graze occasionally. Maybe it was the singing, the lights, or the soft evening breeze. But Lisa began to feel like anything might be possible. She felt like Starshine and her friend's horses were somewhat linked together by an invisible understanding that had existed for a long time. And now that bond was slowly being transferred to their riders. Lisa thought she could see their horses exchanging glances, as though they were talking to each other. Lisa had mentioned that Tin Can and Meteor were the fabled star breed. Lisa wondered whether Starshine might be as well, and possibly Concord too. Were all four horses star breeds? Lisa started to think back to the morning when she and her dad had arrived on Jorvik, and the near accident in the woods with Starshine. Everywhere there were stars. Stars. Stars in your eyes. Just going on a detour at the moment. The stars in their eyes. That actually became a song later by Lisa Peterson. But I wrote it first in the book, so it's pretty cool. And I think it's a pretty cool example of how Star Stable Online and the books are sort of integrated. Sorry for the detour. So, wow, you have a lovely voice, Lisa, Linda exclaimed. Lisa stared at her. Granted, there seemed to be a song playing over and over in her head. Stars, stars, stars. But she was absolutely certain she hadn't been singing it aloud. It's been stuck in my head ever since I first got here, Lisa said. It was time. She could feel it. It was time to finally start talking. She took a deep breath. You know, the morning I came to Jorvik, and there was a strange glow in the sky. Lisa said, and the stars were so bright, even though the sun was just beginning to rise. I saw something I've never seen before. It was like a giant star. It's kind of hard to explain. It was so bright, I thought it must blind my dad, but I didn't even seem to notice it. Star, Linda said. The thing I saw that same morning was like a moon, a big crescent moon. I remember because I couldn't sleep and I'd gone out to fetch the paper. I saw a lightning bolt that same morning, Alex said. And I saw a sun, someone piped up from behind them. They turned around. Anne was riding along, not far away. Come and ride next to us, Linda said. Lisa and Alex made room so Anne could come up alongside with them. Okay, here we go. I need to sing now. Star, shine a ray of sun, all the world is yours to keep, Anne sang softly and chuckled when she noticed how the others were looking at her. I'm sorry, I have a terrible voice. But my mum used to sing that song to me when I was little. I don't know what made me think of it now. All right, Alex said. The sun, the moon, the stars, and a lightning bolt. So, we all saw different star phenomena that same morning. That's so crazy, Anne exclaimed. There has to be a natural explanation. What does Google say? Alex asked. Everyone turned to Linda, who giggled. I didn't realise that was my new nickname, but sure, I'll have a look. She held her reins in one hand and walked in Western style while she got her phone out. Find anything interesting? Lisa asked after a short pause. I'm drowning in astrology sites with ugly 90s web pages, Linda groaned. All the flashing banners are going to make my eyes bleed. The others giggled. I don't know, this might be something, Linda said and frowned. I ended up on some sketchy forum for researchers at Jarlaheim University. Listen to this. The sun, the star, the moon, and the lightning bolts are ancient symbols, often associated with the legend of the 4 soul riders. See separate article. During an excavation in the northern mountains, carvings showing 4 riders were found on the cave walls. Researchers also found symbols that a local historian at Jorvik University later identified as the sun, a star and the moon and the lightning bolt. The symbols are thought to be the source of the soul riders' powers and strength. The soul riders appear as the central characters in both paintings and poetry from the 18th century onward. Soul riders? Lisa mused, letting the words roll off her lips. Then her stomach did a backflip. Anne slowed down Concord, who seemed to want to trot. I've lived on Jorvik my entire life, she said. How come no one, at school, my parents, relatives, has ever mentioned any of this before? Linda said. I have actually heard about those cave paintings. Of course you have, Alex broke in. Yes, Linda said, ignoring Alex. I've seen a photograph. Wait, let me check. It was something about a star. I can't quite remember. She searched on her phone. Right, she continued. A shooting star striking the rocky island jutting out of the sea, and a woman on horseback suddenly appearing along the rocky cliffs of the island. Another cave painting is of a person standing on the cliffs holding their arms out towards the sea, in what is thought of as a welcoming gesture, toward a shooting star coming toward him or her. But do you know what's funny though? The cave paintings are said to be around 25,000 years old. What's funny about that? Anne wanted to know. Well, there were no people on Jorvik that long ago. The first people supposedly came from Jorvik across the ice from Greenland about 8,000 years ago. Lisa listened in silence to the long, incoherent conversation about some goddess called Aideen, who had apparently spread light as Jorvik was awoken, and how this light ride was a tribute to her. The idea was that the riders followed her footsteps all the way to the site where Jorvik was created. They were then supposed to find the light Aideen was said to have placed there, which legend claimed could spread life across the island. No one knew exactly what that place was, though. Lisa wanted to get back to the symbols, back to the soul riders. She urged Starshine on and rode up to Linda, sorry. I keep getting the names wrong, sorry. Isn't it super weird that we all saw different symbols, she said while walking next to Linda and Meteor. What do you think it means? Oh, it's my favourite chapter too, thank you, Liza. I was wondering exactly the same thing, Linda said slowly. She pushed on Meteor, who wanted to stop and graze in a ditch. Greedy guts, she laughed at the horse and shook her head. Then she fixed her eyes on Lisa intently. She looked grave. I think we should go to the library when we get back to find out some more, okay? Lisa nodded, and they left legends and strange constellations behind to focus on the ride. Dusk fell. Several light riders lit lanterns and hung them on long sticks. Some had brightly coloured paper screens around their lanterns. They shimmered in the dark night. As they continued on their journey, Alex heard a ghost story about a headless rider who supposedly haunted the woods on clear nights like this one. He was trapped in purgatory, doomed to continue riding until he found his head. He was unable to ask anyone to help finding it because how could he talk without a head? Suddenly they heard the sound of twigs breaking. Lisa let out a small shriek. "See, there he is!" Alex shouted and laughed. "Cut it out," Linda said, and waved at a group of light riders who came out of a stand of trees. "We're almost at the first campsite now." They watered their horses and sat down around the campfire, where people were roasting hot dogs, marshmallows and apples. The lights from the red and orange lanterns warmly flickered in the night. Lisa felt warm inside. Legend or no legend, something about this ride was doing her good, she mused. She realised she was actually starting to feel at home, right here on Jorvik. She hadn't even thought about her mum once today, which was remarkable considering she'd been riding all day. Until now. She tried to repress the dark thoughts that were apparently lurking near the surface, after all. Tonight, she wanted to be in the light. Linda caught her eye across the campfire and smiled. Lisa smiled back. Soon it was time to move on. One of the riding instructors told them that the last stretch before they reached their overnight campsite was traditionally ridden alone, although each rider had the option to decide for themselves. "They say that when you feel Idine's spirit within yourself," Alex said and rolled her eyes slightly. Everyone giggled, except Lisa. "Of course we're riding the last bit alone. Hardcore. Who's going first?" Alex said. "I will," Lisa said, surprising everyone, most of all herself. The warm, fuzzy feeling from the campfire was still lingering inside her. It made her feel brave. Something was telling her she was supposed to go first. She just knew it. "Great," Alex said. "Then I'll go after you, then Linda, followed by Anne. You'll need a flashlight for the last stretch to find your way in the dark, so make sure you have yours and that it's working. Call out if you run into trouble." "Oh yeah, that's right." "Oh no, Lisa, don't go into the dark. Just don't do it." Lisa turned around and looked at her friends. "See you on the other side," she said, smiling weakly. "Say hi to Idine from us," Alex called out. They laughed nervously and waved goodbye. Lisa lingered for a moment as she noticed how the flames of the campfire turned everything golden. Their hair, their beige jodhpurs, the plastic cups they were holding. She returned the wave and urged Starshine on. Okay, so do you guys want me to continue reading? Because there's a bit... Bye, Saga! Enjoy your meal. I was actually first thinking of just doing like a portion of the chapter, but if you're up for it, I can continue reading a bit more. What do you say? Do you want me to continue reading? Okay, I'll do it. The path was narrower now, and the forest suddenly felt bigger and darker, more desolate. The wind moved through the trees, causing the leaves to rustle. Other than that, there was complete silence. "Hi, Emma." "Hi." Other than that, there was complete silence. Most animals must already be asleep, Lisa thought to herself, and urged Starshine on. She wanted to be there, get there quickly. She began to wonder if she was on the right track. Shouldn't there be some sign of the other light riders on the path? But everything was quiet. Now that she was alone on the trail, the ghost stories that Alex told earlier felt so much more real. She thought about her father, who was probably already fast asleep. The silence was finally broken by a soft, gentle melody that slowly grew stronger. A woman's voice. Was someone singing in a forest? Starshine pricked up his ears and snickered softly. Lisa held up a flashlight and waved it about, this way and that. She dismounted and led Starshine off the path. There were fireflies in the air which guided her. They whirred and jumped in the velvety black night. Lisa bent down and touched the ground. Her fingers grazed soft, damp moss. There was a light up ahead. Yeah. More fireflies. No, this was something else. The light crackled and glowed like a campfire, but Lisa couldn't feel any warmth in the air. It was getting colder out now. She pulled her thick sweater around herself more tightly and pressed herself closer to Starshine, thankful for the heat that came from his big body. She led him on, deeper in the woods. Yeah, I tell you what, I think I'm going to stop there, because if I do continue reading, I mean, yeah, it's very exciting at the moment, but it might spoil you a bit. So that was the better portion of chapter 11 of this little book right here, Jorvik Calling, by me, Helena Dahlgren. I hope you enjoyed the light ride. Yeah, thank you, Pixie. Yeah, I know. So I think some people had some questions earlier on. One of them was, will there be more books? Yeah, definitely cliffhanger. Yes, there will be more books. I've already written 3 books in the trilogy. That's sort of like the thing, 3 books in a trilogy. But those are actually already out in Swedish, my native language. And book number 2 and 3 will be available in English and other languages as well. Pretty soon, actually. Part 2 is called The Legend Awakens, and it will be out in September, I think it is. Oh, thank you, Emma. And I think part 3 will be out in early next year. Okay, so Eliza has a question, what inspired you to write a book? Well, different answers there, really. A simple answer would be that Star Stable asked me to write the books based on the game, which was a lovely thing for me to happen, because growing up I loved horses. Oh yeah, the book with the 4 stories, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've written 2 short story collections as well. One of them will be out in Swedish this October, I think it is, yeah, just in time for Halloween. But yeah, a spooky Halloween book, yeah, that's right. So there will be more books soon. Regina Darkcastle has a question. Did SSO commission you to write these books? Yes, they did. It's actually a pretty cool thing, because as some of you may know, I'm a very big nerd. I love old TV show from the 90s, like X-Files and stuff like that. And one of my favourite writers, Elizabeth Hand, was actually commissioned to do the Star Wars books and the X-Files books. So I knew before I got the question that it had been done before, you know, with TV series anyway. So for me, it's a very cool thing, because I love, you know, the idea of mixing different genres and everything. Yeah, I know X-Files. I'm a total X-File with PH. Uma Star, yeah, oh my God, it's so scary. Okay, so someone wants to know my favorite book. So difficult. I'm gonna go with the latest one, I think. My favorite Cell Rider. Yeah, I mean, that's impossible. Sometimes I would have to say Linda, because like me, she loves books. But I mean, honestly, I love everyone. They're all great. They all have something. Yeah, that's so cool, Alison. Thank you. So do you guys have any more questions before I go? Yeah, Linda is a constant mood. Yeah, fellow X-Files. That's so great. Yeah, I know the covers are just beautiful, aren't they? Okay, so Sienna Star Stable wants to know how Star Stable found me. Actually, a pretty good question. I did, when I was like 26 or something, I was a book blogger along with a couple of friends. And one of them actually ended up marrying one of the co-founders of Star Stable. So yeah, I think he was always aware of me, you know, being a writer and loving horses and also being into all sorts of fantasy stuff. So definitely helps to know people. Yeah. Have I ever played SSO? Definitely. Yeah. Loads of times. Sorry to say that I'm very, very bad at it. I mean, really, really bad. Literally can't get past level 4 or something. But it's a wonderful game, and I've been fortunate enough to write something, hey Johan, for the game as well. So yeah, it's a wonderful game. I know Ice Forest wants to know, do you use apps to plan your stories or characters? Not apps as such. I'm sort of like a pen and paper girl. Do you know, when I was a kid, we used to have these sort of fill it in yourself books where you got to fill in, you know, your favorite color, your favorite animal, where you wanted to be when you grew up and stuff like that. It was called My Friends, Mina vänner in Swedish. So what I do when I start to plan characters and books and stuff is that I start to make lists about the characters and, you know, potential storylines and things like that. And obviously, you know, following some previous plot lines as well. Yeah, pen and paper all the way. How many books do you think there will be? Alison wants to know. Well, hopefully loads of books, I hope. I hope it'll be like a whole franchise. But I'm not sure. I mean, like I said, I've already written 4 books, almost 5. And there will be a new trilogy as well. Where did I find the inspiration to write the book? Well, I mean, honestly, from Starshine Legacy, of course, because some of the plot line is taken from there. But I think more than anything, really, just being a young girl and loving horses, because I grew up loving horses. And like Lisa, I had a period of time when I was quite scared of horses as well, because I fell off and I got a concussion. It was terrible. So I could definitely relate to her. You know, coming to an island full of horses and being somewhat scared. What's my favorite horse? Oh God, I love all types of horses, but I do love a North Swedish horse. Yeah, they're beautiful, I think. Oh my God, so many questions. Tack you on. So the new trilogy, yeah, it will definitely have to do with Soul Riders. And, you know, the first trilogy, I'm not sure, you know, how much I'm supposed to say at the moment, because obviously only the first book is out in English. But, oh, thank you, Amanda. But I think it's safe to say that the new trilogy will take place maybe like a year after, because obviously the first book, the first series, is sort of like a prequel. It's like a how did they all meet type of thing. So I think if you're familiar with the game, and most of you are, I think you'll definitely be familiar with some of the plot lines. And yeah, might be that someone has to die. Very sad. Some of you may know who. I swear to God, I'm tearing up just thinking about it, but yeah. Which Soul Rider was the hardest to create and write about, and why? I'm going to have to go with Anne. Yeah. No, not the Soul Riders. No, the Soul Riders are never going to die. No. But yeah, people do die. Yeah. But no, not the Soul Riders. But the person that I found most difficult to create, probably Anne, because I didn't quite understand her to begin with. And I think that's because, you know, as I read aloud earlier, that, you know, Anne is very misunderstood. People think that, you know, she's this rich girl, she's quite conceited, but she's not. Oh yeah, Alison, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Not a Soul Rider. Yeah. Yeah. So Anne did take a bit for me to sort of wrap my head around. But when I did that, you know, she's become one of my favorite characters to write about. I think she's wonderful. How long does it take to write a book? Well, I'm fairly quick when it comes to the first draft. The first draft I usually finish in 2 or 3 months, something like that. Then I send it to my editor. Ah, merci Chloé. Mon français est très mauvaise, très mauvaise. I bet your English is better. So yeah, where was I? Thank you so much for all your lovely comments. It's been amazing. And I hope you enjoyed the reading as well. Hi. Yeah, Anna's a really intriguing character. I think she's probably one of the 4 Soul Riders that I have yet to sort of figure out, because she's a mystery, isn't she? There's so much going on there underneath the surface. And I think the Soul Rider that I feel... Oui, je parle français. Oui, je parle français. Hablo español también, if there are any Spanish people there. Or spanska. Yeah, bye. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this live. I'm sorry about the chaotic beginning. Yeah, my favorite Soul Rider is all of them, really. Yeah, can't pick one. So yeah, it's been really fun. Actually, I think we might do this again, don't you think? Okay, so Eliza wants to know how many languages do I speak? Um, 4. Yeah, Swedish, English, French, and Spanish. Ah, merci. Merci. I speak a bit of Latin as well, although probably doesn't count because you don't really go around speaking Latin, seeing as like a dead language and everything. My favourite breed, oh, Icelandic ponies and North Swedish horses. I think are amazing. But I love all horses really. So yeah. Yeah, so thank you so much for tuning in. It's been amazing, and I think, yeah, I was wondering about that. Yeah, okay. Uh, so thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and for sending me all your lovely comments and questions and listening to me read. Um, yeah, Latin is a wonderful language. Yeah, it really is. Oh, we have an Icelandic horse, Emma. That's wonderful. I want to have one too. Oh, you're amazing too, Sienna. Have a good day, Capri. Yeah. Okay, so thank you very much. This was a lot of fun, so I think I'll definitely do it again. Maybe try it from the beginning. Do you think? Yeah. Maybe do a bit of a short story or something. Yeah. If you're up for it. Yeah. Have a great day. Actually, it's evening now. It's almost 8 o'clock. Yeah, it's almost 8 o'clock, and I think I might have a cup of tea or something and read. Have a good night, everyone, or day, depending on where you are. I was really happy to be able to do this because, like I said, it's a weird time for all of us. We're just sitting at home, going a bit crazy. So I think the internet is a wonderful thing. Stay safe, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and day. Good night if you're about to go to bed. And I'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.